Hello students, today we are going to talk about how to solve literal equations, um, which are equations that have just a whole bunch of letters in them or variables, and then we're just supposed to isolate and rearrange whatever and solve for whatever the letters that we're interested in, right? So for example, this equation A equals L times W, we want to isolate W, right? So this is an area formula. Area equals length times width, and we just want to know what the formula for the width is, right? So it's actually quite easy. We're just going to use what we call inverse operation, right? Inverse operations to solve equations. Okay, so this is the main topic here, using inverse operation to isolate the variable and get the variable that we want. So for this problem, we want um, W by itself. That means the L has to go. If the L is being multiplied by W, the inverse operation of multiplication would be division. So I'm going to say I'm going to divide both sides by L, right? So I would divide both sides by L. I would get A divided by L on the other side. So I'm going to type in A over L on the other side. I'm going to use the fraction there. I'm gonna put capital A in here, and on the bottom, I guess I'm gonna hit this L letter, and I'm gonna submit. Awesome. Okay. We want S by itself. So to get S, remember these are being added. So if I'm gonna move the R to the other side, let me do it. Let me show you a few, and I'm not gonna do this for forever, right? I'm just gonna show you a few. Q equal R plus S. Well, I'm actually going to subtract the R away so that the S can be by itself. But actually, I'm going to have to do that on both sides. I'm going to subtract R there. Oops. I'm going to subtract R here. And I'm going to subtract R here. Okay. That way, the R actually go away from this side, right? And so what I end up is actually Q minus R equals to S. All right, so this becomes an equation where S is by itself. In the original equation, the Q is by itself. Okay, so this practice is it's actually getting you to get used to manipulate your equations and solve for the variables that you want. Okay, so we're going to type that in. We're going to type in Q minus R. Okay, I type in Q minus R. Q minus R. Hit submit. Okay, all right, let me delete what I just typed in there. Oops, I want to keep the inverse operation. So there we go. All right, so now if you look at the original problem carefully, you're going to see that this is a negative, and this A, C, and B are all being multiplied together when they're sitting next to each other like that. This is A multiplied by C multiplied by B, right? And we want A by itself. Well, if we want A by itself, then the negative has to go, the CB has to go, right? The CB has to go. So how do they go? Well, the negative is going to go to the other side, and it becomes negative D, right? I'm not very good at writing on these. And then CB, because it is being multiplied together, I can actually move CB together, right? The whole thing. So because it is being multiplied by A, the inverse operation would say divide. So when it goes to the other side, it will become division CB. Okay, and I'm moving them together like that, which is fine. Okay, you can move them together. So the negative is going to go over here, and the CB is going to go over here, but when it goes over here, it becomes division. Okay, so I'm going to type that in. I'm going to type in negative, first of all, fraction, and then negative D over CB. Okay, and submit. Yay, we got it. Okay, let me delete my mess there. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. This one, it's a little different. We want just u by itself. So if u is going to be by itself, we know that w has to go, right? W has to go. And the original operation here is multiply. So when I move it over here, I have to divide. So I'm going to divide by w. Okay, so if I divide by w, then I'm going to type that in. U is now by itself, so I'm going to type in a fraction, a t, s, v, stay untouched, right? We didn't do anything to them. And then the w will go on the bottom, on the other side. Submit. Yay. Okay, very cool. This one's actually pretty easy. Again, we're going to move. So I'm using the word move, but it's really, we're just doing opposite operation. So this is adding. When we put it on the other side, we're going to subtract. When we put this x over here, we're going to subtract, right? So w will be by itself. So what's going to end up is when the z move to the other side, it's going to be y minus z. And then when the x go to the other side, it will be minus x. And that is our equation. Submit. Okay. All right. Okay, here, start to repeat. I'm going to start jumping level a little bit. V here, I'm going to divide both sides to get V by itself. So I'm going to jump level. I'll talk you through them, but I'm going to jump level. Okay, this one's a little different. I'm going to do this one for you. Okay, I'm solving for W. Okay, so W. If I'm solving for W, the 1 over Y needs to go. Okay, and the X has to go. Well, the 1 over y, it's going to go to the other side. Well, 1 divided by y, right? It's going to be 1 multiplied by y. So y is going to go to the other side and become multiplication. So y is going to be over here multiplying, right? Multiplying. Opposite, inverse operation, right? Now, x here is going to become division because this is multiplication. When it goes over here, it will become division. So I'm actually going to divide by x on both sides, okay? So my equation would become W equals YV. YV is on top. Oh, I need a fraction. YV is on top, and then X is on the bottom. Okay, and that's my equation when I move those two letters to the other side. Submit. So here we have this problem. We divide by A. Okay, I'm going to jump level. Divide by A to get by itself. Here we get Q by itself, divide by R, so jump level again. All right, we're in the challenge zone, guys. Here we go. We're in the 90s. It gets a little bit more challenging here. All right, what are we trying to move here? We want X by itself, so we're moving this right here. Okay, I'm circling what we're moving, and I'm moving W, right? Now, remember, the negative is just going to move over here and be a negative. The y, because it is division, it's going to move over here and becomes multiplication. W here is multiplication, so when it moves to the other side, it's going to become division. Okay, so my new equation becomes negative yz over w. Okay, so I'm going to type that in. Fraction negative yz over, I'll make sure I type it in correctly, otherwise it's going to penalize me for getting it wrong. There we go. Okay. All right. Next problem. Okay, this one is not too bad. To get f by itself, we're going to move the f to the other side. So, guys, this technically could be written like this. T over 1, the original problem, right, over 1, equals 1 over f, 1 over f. And so if you're looking for f, so f is going to be on top over here, and then t is going to have to go back over here to be on the bottom. So you're actually virtually just switching the two letters, right? So our answer is going to be 1 over t. 1 over t is our final solution, okay? 1 over t. So we're just switching the t and the f, okay? 1 over t. Capital T. There we are. Submit. I wonder if I put a little t, it's going to penalize me. All right, what are we trying to move here? We want t by itself, so we're moving the u and we're moving the r. Oh, this is a similar problem like the one we've done before. So the u is going to move over here, become multiplication, right? There's no negative sign, so I don't have to worry about that. And then the r is going to come over here and become division. So I'm actually going to divide, okay? So my answer is us over r, okay? So I'm going to type that in. Oops, sorry. U and then S and then over R. Okay, so these are all lowercase letter. I don't need to worry about capitalizing. Submit. Yay. Okay, delete, delete. All right, we're at 96. Very good. Okay, this one's not too bad. Oh, I deleted that, which is okay. We need B by itself. Again, we're just switching. Remember the T and the F earlier? We're switching the B, so we take the B and we put it up here, and we actually take the C and we move it back over here. So our answer is A over C. The A is not moving, so the A stays put. So the A stays the same. So A over C instead of B, because B, we move B to the other side. Submit. Very cool. All right, maybe this is the last problem. All right, it's a little challenging, maybe. We're solving for W. I mean, for V. So that means we're gonna move the T on the bottom. So the T on the bottom will become multiplication when it goes over here. So it actually go to the top, right? And then the V, well, we're trying to solve for V, so we're actually gonna move W. Well, the W is going to come over here to go on the bottom because it's become division, right? Original is multiplication, and then now it goes over here, it becomes division. So our answer is TU over W. TU over W. Let me delete my mess before I submit. Submit. Yay. All right, we got 100. Guys, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel, please, to see more tutorials, videos in the future. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.